Oh, God. I kind of want to watch this. Oh, God. Watch it? Yeah, what do you guys think? Oversized influencer, his wife. Oh, boy. Let's see it. Yeah, let's watch it. It's only 7 minutes, right?
Welcome back. Damning figures today revealed that obesity costs British taxpayers almost £14 billion a year. Obese patients cost the British health service twice as much as those of a
I
health...
thought that obese people didn't cost the health services as much because they just died. They died faster and earlier, and so just get them out of the system. That was my understanding.
weight. But the body positivity movement preaches that fat is now fabulous. And that is crazy.
Sadly,
is
no.
fatfluencers who rake in cash by posting about...
Whoa, wait, did he say fatfluencers?
And that is craze is fatfluencers who rake in cash by boasting about, well...
Oh, that's perfect.
Fat.
I love it.
What I eat today is a fat bitch. Let's go. I don't know how many times I have to tell you bitches, I'm going to start my morning off with a Starbucks iced coffee.
9:30 in the morning cookies. Orange juice, that's good. Orange juice is pretty healthy. This is actually like my breakfast, except for instead of orange juice, it's Coke. A burger. Wait, what's this here? Russet burger, ketchup and chocolate. Oh my. Oh.
And I had the Mackies, and then I had
A cake.
a few
Okay, that's good. I actually got cake today.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Really?
Look at his face.
Really?
And that's only noon, too. Like, bro, you got the entire rest of the day. Holy shit, man. I think that one thing that Piers isn't going to bring up is the fact that, like, a lot of these influencers, almost every single one of these, like, fat influencers, there are male ones, but I think the majority of them are female. And that's because there's a lot of guys that they like fat chicks. So, like, it's actually appealing to a demographic of individuals. So I'm actually curious to see if Piers is going to talk about that. Sorry, what? Wait, you think it's a fucking... Like, is this is news to you? That there are some guys that like fat chicks? You didn't know this? Bro, guys like feet. Like, is it really that hard to imagine?
Really? That's what people are watching? Apparently. Well, TikTokers like my next guest are putting the pound in excess pounds.
The new Hot 30i is just...
Oh, that's so fucking good.
$89.99. Do you like sweets? Well, you can get 2 kilos of sweets for £10.
Promoting obesity.
No, I'm promoting a good deal. $25.99 for 63 rolls of toilet paper. A donut maker from Tower. All of these products have 2-year warranty. A candy floss maker. And a chocolate fountain.
Oh, you can get... Oh, is that cotton candy? Oh, that's like Golden Corral. Oh, this is awesome. I should get one. Dude, I should get one of these. This is good. Holy... Dude, I haven't had cotton candy in like 20 years.
Okay. So I'm joined by TikTok star George.
There he is.
You just saw there. And Sienna.
Bargains. Huh? That's what I say, bargains.
Bargains. All right. And his wife, Sienna, and the host of the Blair White Project, Blair. Why? Okay, listen. Blair, I'll come to you in a moment. First of all right, George, let me get some stats.
Yeah.
If you don't mind me asking, how much do you weigh?
Look, I'm not going to talk about numbers because the thing is, when you...
That's smart.
Should. I mean,
no, the thing is, if I give you...
You should. I wonder if he's going to push him on this.
The number of how much I weigh, it's going to be all over the Sun, all those trashy newspapers tomorrow morning. I don't need it. Don't need it.
Well, you don't need
Your
it.
hot wife? No, so there's another meta inside. So, oh my God, you guys just don't know. You guys really just don't know how you guys don't know how bad it really is. Guys. There are metas inside of metas inside of metas of fetishes. It's like I could explain all of this, but I would feel gross even doing it. Let's do it. Okay. So inside of like the meta of like being into fat chicks and fat people, right? There's like a meta inside of that that's called feederism. And it's just exactly what it sounds like. It's, you know, a person feeds a fat person, another fat person, right? And this is a very popular thing. There are like fat girls that have, you know, on TikTok, they'll have little, you know, like links, and it says like, you know, it's a donation link, and it's like feed me, and it's like different things you can buy her to eat, and she'll like eat some of the things on stream, etc. So yeah, you feed the addiction. And this is also something for guys. Obviously, you know, it's like an 80-20 thing where it's like mainly, you know, guys feeding fat chicks rather than girls feeding fat guys. But of course it goes both ways, as you can see in this situation. So there is also that. Now, inside of the scope of that, there's like, what are the limits on that? Some people want to feed them until they literally die. I mean, is that really that crazy? I mean, there's incest porn, there's rape porn. Is it really that big of a surprise that some people want to feed a fat person until they die? No, it's not. People are disgusting degenerates. They fuck goats. Well, people fuck goats. People fuck goats. Like, I mean, doesn't that just kind of put it into perspective? You know, they get fucked by horses. Yeah, so like, this is just how it is. And so anyway, you've got to have, don't forget the donkey show. My dad actually was talking to me about that. He's like, you know what a donkey show is? I'm like, yeah, of course. He's like, all right. I think he was talking about something that happened like whenever he was in like Mexico or something like that. I have no idea. It was like some fucking story from like 35 years ago. Anyway, so yeah, Clerks 2. Yeah, I watched Clerks 2. And anyway, so this is a meta inside of being into like fat people. It's like feederism. How do you know all this? You're a sick person? I don't think that you understand how much I know. Like, it would be disturbing for you to even for you to even understand the scope of the degeneracy that I am aware of. It would upset you. I have been on the internet. I remember being on the internet in the year 2000. I was in like 4th or 5th grade. That was a long, long time ago. It was insane. I know every single type of degeneracy. I know every type of bad thing, every bad meme, every bad word, every bad dog whistle for different, you know, different types of like racism, sexism, etc. I know all of that. I know all the other bad stuff. I know everything, all the bad videos, everything, dude. I've spent a long time on the internet, and it's been a very interesting ride. A custodian of degeneracy. That's right. Somebody has to do it. So, Pain Olympics. Next time Dylan is over, I will have him tell the story of whenever we watched Pain Olympics together in high school. It was a very good time. Because we were 11th grade. Might have been 12th grade. I don't remember. Guys, this is a fetish. Now, it might not be. And it could also be a thing where, like, the guy's making a lot of money and then the wife is okay with it because they're making a lot of money. Sorry, I kind of went off on, like, a huge tangent with this. But, like, all I'm really trying to get at here is that, like, there are a lot of different angles that can exist with this. And, like, maybe, like, I mean, because he's not a bad-looking guy. I really don't think so. I think if this dude was 190 pounds and he was fucking fit, like, he would be a good-looking dude. So the odds are maybe they got married whenever he was in college, or like fucking, you know, they met in high school or something like that. This dude was in way better shape. And so, yeah, she just kind of let it happen.
You're on TikTok every day showing us how big you are.
Yeah, and look,
and you're proud of it.
No. There's a difference. There's proud, and then there's just being positive in my own skin, and that's what I am.
Right.
I'm not proud to be fat.
Would you accept that by medical definition you are morbidly obese?
Look, if that's what medically...
Look, hey, yo, we gonna get into this fucking medical shit. Like, look, who wrote that book, you know?
You want to call it?
Yeah.
Then call it.
Well, no, you know your weight, I don't.
No. But that's, yeah, you could say that. Yeah.
Right, so here's my issue with this body positivity thing. People shouldn't be celebrating being morbidly obese. in my estimation.
That's
because actually, it is a dangerous condition that causes many people to die.
Look, you've got a fair point. It is dangerous. It can lead to dangerous issues, which could, diabetes and so on. And that is an issue. But we don't encourage gaining weight. There's a difference between the videos you just showed on the screen.
Come on,
what we're
George,
talking about now.
You're doing this. These TikToks are all geared to you.
No. You're showing people encouraging eating food. I'm just saying, wow, look at the pizza. Look, it's from Costco. It's nice.
No, you're not. You're not.
You are.
Sorry, George.
That's what I'm doing.
You are glorifying scoffing.
It's called taking the piss. That's what it is.
Well, maybe.
That's what it is. It's having a laugh and not taking yourself too seriously.
Why is it funny?
Because it is funny.
It's funny because he's fat. That's why it's funny. Can we just fucking admit this? Like, what are we doing? Are we trying to pretend like this isn't something that people have laughed at for fucking hundreds of years? That's why it's funny.
No, it is funny. You had a little smirk yourself before.
I actually don't find this kind of thing funny. I think
come on.
I actually think it's quite sad.
It's not sad. It's comedy.
Let me bring him.
It's satire comedy.
Well, maybe.
You know it is. You know it is, Piers. I've been an actor for 13 years.
George,
damn right I know how this industry works.
George, I'll come back to you in a moment.
Come on.
Let me just go to Blair White in Austin, in Texas. Blair, I do have a problem with this because I think it's celebrating
a lot of people in Austin.
A dangerous health condition. And if you're an influencer, why would you want to influence people to think that that is A, funny, entertaining, and B, something they want to do?
Well, you should have an issue with it. My opinion is that the fat positivity movement is a death cult. I'm all about...
Oh, it is a death cult.
Living my life on my own terms.
Yeah, they should be able to do what they want.
Finding a partner that makes me happy. But, life is short, so you have to find happiness. But what cuts it in half is being obese. Your life will literally end halfway of the length that you would live being obese. And so promoting you wouldn't be able to be anorexic on TikTok and not get comments about how you need to eat a cheeseburger.
Yeah, remember that girl, Eugenia Cooney or whatever the fuck her name is? Everybody hates her for the opposite reason, because she's too skinny.
To gain weight, and you can write it off as trolls, but it's the truth. I've seen some TikToks made by him where he is addressing people telling him that he needs to lose weight as trolls and sort of making fun of it. And I just wonder,
Well, I mean, I'm going to defend the fat dude. I think it's fine. If he wants to be a fat fuck and be 500 pounds, okay. Go ahead. Yeah, that's his right. It's his God-given right to be fat.
Is it really trolls? I mean, certainly there are mean people on the internet, but there is some truth to it. I mean, I know that he is a father, and the idea that you will, in all likelihood, in all certainty, actually not live past 50, 60 years old is an issue. So for me,
He's loving it.
I know, I hear you. That's my view. I want to bring in Sienna, your wife. You've been listening to this.
Yeah.
Are you comfortable completely? When you see the statistics about obesity in this country, the cost to the NHS, what it costs the country, are you comfortable about this?
The way I see it is, firstly, just us personally, we have private healthcare, so the NHS isn't a thing for us. I do understand that it is costing the NHS a lot. I think it's a bigger problem to address, though. I think it's about educating people when they're young to make healthy food choices. I think a lot of the time when you grow up in poverty, like George and I have, a lot of the time you don't have the healthiest options.
Yeah, but my response to that would be, okay, but you've managed...
Well, I mean, everybody knows not to eat this kind of... Like, what are you talking about? Like, whenever you guys are growing up, did any of you guys not know that fruits and vegetables were the things that you were supposed to eat? I feel like everybody kind of knows that. Like, the entire culture says this. It's not like this is only something you read in like a fucking, rich private school. Holy fuck. Yeah, but they're expensive. Yeah.
Not to end up as George has weight-wise. I don't mean to denigrate you, George. I'm just saying...
genetics, though, couldn't it?
No, it's not.
It could be
What it is...
I don't think it's genetics, is it?
I believe it's because my parents were, like, cool hippie vegetarians, whereas George's were not.
But are you comfortable? You've got a son, right? Are you comfortable about his current weight? Do you think when he does this stuff on TikTok, are you really laughing or are you concerned about him?
I'm concerned not so much about his weight, but more about his well-being, and
Which is his weight.
Sienna, you definitely glorify it, Sienna, and you guys post videos where you're juggling his fat and you talk about how attractive it is.
See? What did I tell you? What did I say? I fucking knew it.
And for me,
That's
when I
what
look
gets
for
views,
a
isn't
romantic
it?
partner,
We all knows what gets
I
views.
look for someone that
in
would
a
make me
way-
a better version of myself.
Well, yeah,
not
but
a worse
George,
one.
the point Blair's making is a sound one. You say it's to get views. We know that.
Yeah, of course.
And you're making money from it.
Of course.
But the question is, there's no incentive for you to actually lose any weight because at that stage, your
actually-
TikTok persona
Oh no, because we
dies.
can flip the
is
book, can't
actually
we? Yeah.
George is actually on a weight loss journey, and I fully support that. I think it's more like having
Really?
a laugh at yourself, making the best.
Well, and it's also like another factor is that, like, this is always popular whenever it's a guy, that's like an ugly dude and he's got a really hot girlfriend, because other guys will watch him and girls will watch him because they're like, wow, he really did it. It's like the equivalent of like somebody making it into the NBA, right? They started in like a poor community and they finally made it into the NBA. Well, for a lot of guys, that the NBA is having a hot wife or a hot girlfriend. There it is.
Of
You know what
the
made me? You
situation
know what
you're in.
pulled me around to your side, George? If you now flipped with this big audience you've got, and rather
Yeah.
than gorging yourself every day on pizza,
Well, he's not going to lose weight because if he's skinny, people aren't going to watch him. Most people watch him and laugh at him and they're like, haha, you're fat. It's the funny fat guy. And then there's other people that are overweight that watch him because it's like, somebody who's 330 pounds, watch him and they're like, well, at least I'm not this bad. And it makes them feel better about themselves. Like, I've heard of like girls that would watch these like mukbang content creators eat food while they're eating food to make themselves feel better about overeating. As I said, if you want to understand why a trend is happening on social media, think about the most degenerate, wrong, dark, and disgusting reason. And that's probably why.
and donuts.
But that's not what I do,
But
Piers.
people laughing at you.
But that's
Why
not what
don't
I
you
do.
actually go on a fitness regime and show people
Piers,
how to lose weight?
Because
If
people
people
stop
actually
watching.
knew what I was thinking and what I'm doing, I'm actually going
That's
to be
why.
doing it as Ozempic needles privately as well before you start. So all of these things, we're paying out of our own money. We don't cost anyone anything. Me
How much are
being
you
this-
making out of the TikTok?
A lot of money.
Like what?
A lot of money, over 100 grand.
A year?
Over 100 grand a year.
So there's
yeah.
no incentive to lose weight, is there?
No, but
Well, there's an incentive not to lose weight, if anything. What about the kids you can tell are fat because their parents spoil them? What about those unfortunate kiddos? I think that you can make a very strong argument that child morbid obesity is child abuse. I think that if the kid is a little chubby, that's not a big deal, right? I mean, like, what the fuck? But, like, I'm talking about, like, morbid obesity. Absolutely.
But
But
there's a
it
lot of
doesn't
weight
derive
loss
straight from that.
journeys
That's
on
from my
TikTok as
sales.
well.
And that's with the collaborations and the deals
You
that I have
don't even
outside
want
of
to
it.
tell me how much you weigh.
I don't need
because-
to. I don't need
Are
to.
you ashamed of it?
Oh, I'm not
I don't really
ashamed.
then why don't you
understand
tell
how
me?
you can
Why
join
should I
a
feel ashamed?
panel
When
about
you put a number and you
obesity
put a
and about
label on it,
weight
it's
and not
Okay,
just
Blair,
lose
final
your
word
weight.
to you.
I just don't know why he would come on a panel discussing weight and body positivity, fat positivity, and not
Okay.
actually revealing the
I agree.
his number,
Blair,
his weight.
guys,
point
I'm
of
sorry,
cares?
I run out of time. Thank you, all of you, very much indeed.
I mean, I don't know why. Like, I mean, I feel like really, like, the guy came on and he said that it's bad to be fat. And I feel like that's really all I'd need to hear. I feel like, yeah, it's like, it's not good that he's fat, but it's his own choice to be fat. Right? It's not like he's telling other people that to be fat. And it's like, yeah, of course, whenever people see that, it might make them feel better about being overweight for sure. But like, if you apply that logic, you could tell like hundreds of people, hundreds of different types of things. You shouldn't be able to do this anymore because it could like encourage somebody else to do the same thing. How's the difference? Someone streaming gambling and them saying don't gamble. I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, people can stream gambling and it's okay. I think it's fair to say, like, this is my perspective, right? Is that, let me think of a way to put it, okay? That makes sense. Because obviously this is it's like a hot topic with people. I don't think that obesity and being morbidly obese, especially morbidly obese, should be viewed as an equivalent lifestyle to not being morbidly obese. Like, it's not healthy at any size. That's not true. It's not real. How do you know that? Because you go to a nursing home, there's not a lot of fat people there because they're already fucking dead. I've said this many times. Truth is that, it's just, but it is their choice, right? It's the same as smoking cigarettes. It's the same thing as drinking alcohol, drinking soda. All of these things are bad for you. And people have the ability and the right to indulge in certain things that do not hurt other people. And I think that if you are expressing that you're doing this thing without encouraging other people to do it, you're not necessarily harmful. It's their choice, sure, but society's going to make an example of them so they don't go to a shithole. I don't think there's anything wrong with people saying that being overweight is unhealthy. But there are also a lot of people, too, that are just going out of their way. They're like, oh, well, we're going to call this guy a fatty McFat. It's like, you're only doing this, and they act like they're doing it to help him out. No, you're not doing it to help him out. You're doing it because you want to be an asshole. Right? I mean, let's be honest. Most of the people that are, fat shaming, they're not doing it because they want to, help this person improve their life. They're just doing it because they like making fun of them. That's it. It's like calling people fat. Yeah, it's that simple. Should society shame fat people? I don't think anybody should be shamed for doing something that doesn't hurt other people. I'm sure there could be other exceptions on that rule, but I think as a general rule, that's the way that I feel. And also, shame shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter what society thinks of you or how they feel about you, because at the end of the day, you're your own person. You're not accountable to society. You're not accountable to other people. You're only accountable to yourself and the people that you care about. And that's the only thing that matters. Being fat hurts other people, like their family. Yeah, but so does smoking cigarettes and drinking alcohol and doing a million other unhealthy things. Again, I think that that's between them and their family. I'm not going to get in between them and their family and try to make them, live their life according to what I believe, right? Some people also say religion can get in the way of families, or different political ideologies can get in the way of families. There are a lot of things that fuck families up. But at the end of the day, I don't want to start meddling in other people's fucking family relationships. This is insane. Get the fuck away from me. Do what you want to do. You want to be fat and die at 50? Go ahead. Have fun. Yeah, Chatter's being so authoritarian because they think that they have, people are authoritarian because they think that it's never going to happen to them. That's why. It affects taxpayers, though. Yeah, there's a lot of things that also affects taxpayers. I mean, again, I think that I think the only thing that is harmful is the idea that being overweight is an equivalent lifestyle in terms of health to not being overweight. All other things created equal. That is what's bad. That's what the problem is. It's healthy at every size. Everything else is fine. I don't care about it because it's a personal choice. I'll read a few comments and I want to move on. Imagine your brother ruin your family. What would you do in that case? It's something really fucked up. I don't know. I mean, your brother can ruin your family in a million different ways. I mean, can you control every single one of them? No. Shitty people are just using the shame equals good argument to try and justify their bullying. Bro, half of the people in this chat probably got shamed for playing video games. Did that stop you? No, you're watching me. If people back had their way in the 90s and the 80s, bro, you wouldn't be playing video games either. Keep that in mind. Everybody always wants to shame somebody else, but they never think that what happens whenever somebody tries to come and shame you. Leave them the fuck alone. I mean, this is a self-correcting problem, isn't it? Why are you getting bent out of shape about it? I got shamed in middle school for playing WoW? Yeah. I mean, it's so weird. People never think that it's going to happen to them. I'll link y'all the video. Everyone knows healthy every side thing is bullshit. Well, I agree, and that's the only thing that I think that matters. Shame of fear, other people find out what your defects are. Really okay with being fat, you wouldn't be ashamed of it. If you truly love games, people making fun of you wouldn't make a difference. Of course it would make a difference, bro. People don't want to get shamed and shit on just for the way that they live their life. Like, obviously it might not bother them and make them cry, but wouldn't life be better if it wasn't like this? I mean, that's not the only two extremes. Yeah. He's an influencer encouraging this, though? I mean, who called him an influencer? I mean, it's just a word that people use for everything. I mean, listen, here's what I think. There's ads, advertising, like alcohol. I think alcohol, I'm pretty sure more people die to like heart disease and like complications from obesity than alcohol even. But like, I don't want to hear about people trying to say that you can't be healthy or you can't talk about being fat whenever we have commercials for alcohol. Like, get rid of that first and I'll give a fuck. Because I think that really that's something that almost everybody likes to do, but they're like, oh, that's different. Oh, that's different. Uh-huh. Yeah, sure. That's what they think too. Leave people the fuck alone. Jesus. People never think it's going to happen to them. And then it does. But anyway, yeah. Again, I don't want to be... should glorification of morbid obesity be allowed on social media? Absolutely, it should be allowed. It's a free marketplace of ideas. And you should absolutely 100% allow people to go and talk about how great it is to be morbidly obese. Because that is a bad idea. It's a stupid idea. And that will be proven to not be true in the free marketplace of ideas. I do not believe in censoring that. I think that there are limits, of course, but I don't think that's one of them. It's weird to U.S. is one of the only countries that allow prescription medication ads on TV. I find it very interesting. I just get tired whenever fat people go out in public and celebrate their fatness and are surprised whenever people call them fat. It's what people do. Let's just say that. It's what people do.